100 amazing facts around the world.
A supermassive black hole is a black hole that is dramatically larger than a regular black hole. A SMBH can be billions of times heavier than an average-sized star. 50,000 cells in your body died and were replaced by new ones while you were watching this sentence. A woman from Michigan named Barbara Soper gave birth on August 8, 2008, September 9, 2009 and October 10, 2010, the odds of which are 50 million to 1. Elephants can't jump. Every other mammal can. Beyond Neptune is the Kuiper Belt. This region contains trillions of asteroids and comets. It is similar to the asteroid belt except it's 20 times wider and 200 times bigger. A nebula is a cloud of soot made up of helium, hydrogen, and other gases. They often form beautiful and colorful shapes. The first nebula was discovered by Charles Messier in 1764. A ray directed from the sun to a planet sweeps out equal areas in equal times. The town of Fucking changed its name. This Austrian town changed its name to Fugging in January 20, 21. Former billionaire Chuck Feeney has given away over 99% of his $6.3 billion to help underprivileged kids go to college, resulting in him having $2 million left. Stevie Wonder is not only the first black artist to win a Grammy for Album of the Year for 1973's Inner Visions, but the first and only musician to win Album of the Year with 3 consecutive studio albums. We can never see how big the universe is because we can only observe where light has reached us. Jets leave a white trail across the sky for the same reason that you can see your breath in the winter. It's carbon dioxide and water creating visible moisture. There is a star called Fomalhaut that is orbited by 83 trillion comets. A newborn baby has about 1 cup of blood in their entire body. In the 1920s, radioactive radium featured in many consumer products including toothpaste, cosmetics, and even condoms. The most powerful organism is the gonorrhea bacteria, which can pull up to 100,000 times their size. Harvard is officially free for those with less than $65,000 in annual family income. You still need to get the marks to get in, however. It takes more than 500 peanuts to make one 12-ounce jar of peanut butter. Actor Tom Cruise is only 5.6 feet tall. The sound you hear when you put a seashell next to your ear isn't the sea but the blood running through your veins. A cow gives nearly 200,000 glasses of milk in her lifetime. Many consider D.W. Griffith's controversial The Birth of a Nation to be the first full-length movie, but it isn't. The first feature-length film is thought to be the 1906 Australian film, The Story of the Kelly Gang. The first passengers on a hot air balloon were a sheep, a duck, and a rooster. The crew of the doomed 1986 Challenger space shuttle launch likely did not die in the initial explosion, but survived the 3-minute fall to the ocean that destroyed the cabin on impact. President Ronald Reagan lost half of his blood after being shot in the 1981 assassination attempt. Chewing gum while peeling onions will keep you from crying. In 1980, sportscaster Howard Cosell announced John Lennon's death during a Sunday night football game between the Patriots and the Dolphins. Teeth are the only part of the human body which cannot heal themselves. When Mount St. Helens in Washington erupted in 1980, volcano scientist David A. Johnson radioed the excited message, "This is it," from his post beneath the volcano. It was his last message before he was killed by the eruption. In 1987, Bill Gates became the youngest billionaire ever at age 31. Energy drinks can increase blood pressure and stimulate the heart, at times to the point of creating heart palpitations. The average American dog will cost its owner $20,000 in its lifetime. A 6-year-old boy died in July 2013 while undergoing a routine MRI exam at a New York area hospital. The magnetic pull of the MRI machine caused a metal oxygen tank to fly across the room and strike the child's head. The 4-year-old daughter of boxer Mike Tyson was killed in 2009 after accidentally hanging herself with a treadmill cord in the family's Phoenix, Arizona, home. 30% of the Earth's uranium supply is in Australia. Studies show that workers who are regularly exposed to diesel exhaust have an increased risk of lung cancer. Blue ice can fall from the sky with enough force to crash through roofs and crush cars. Robert Ludlum, the creator of the Jason Bourne series, died while the first Bourne film was in post-production. The many parts turned down by Sean Connery include roles in The Matrix, The Lord of the Rings, Jurassic Park, Indy 4 and Blade Runner. There are several theories about how the universe might end. One of them is known as the Big Crumble. This theory suggests that the more the universe expands, the more it will stretch itself too far until it cracks open. The pinky swear came from Japan and indicated that if someone broke the promise they must cut off their pinky. Banana bread became the home bake of choice during the first lockdown, with an increase of 525% in online searches. Percussive maintenance is the technical term for hitting something until it works. Jesse James, a notorious outlaw from the 1800s who once gave a widow who housed him enough money to pay off her debt collector and then robbed the debt collector as the man left the widow's home. Twilight was rejected 14 times before it was accepted. On February 6, 2016, a bus driver in India was killed by a meteorite. This is the first and only recorded time that someone has been killed by a meteorite. If a meteor is larger than 1.4 miles, it can have cataclysmic effects on a global scale. Snails have the ability to regrow an eye if it's cut off. Adidas will cancel any sponsorship deal that they have with a player if it turns out he has anything to do with Scientology. On average, a person needs 7 minutes to fall asleep. Shooting for No Country for Old Men was interrupted for a day due to a smoke cloud from the set of There Will Be Blood, which was also filming in the area. Enya was James Cameron's first choice to compose the music for Titanic. Camel humps are actually filled with fat, contrary to the belief men have that they were filled with water. The cigarette smoked by Sigourney Weaver in Avatar is completely CGI. U.S. politician Henry Kissinger was the person who convinced Brazilian soccer great Pelé to play in the United States. The Hobbit used all the gold paint in New Zealand. Saving Private Ryan caused post-traumatic stress disorders in veterans. Some battle scenes were too realistic to people who actually had participated in the war. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Because the Deadpool budget was reduced by $7 million at the very last moment before production, the main character had to leave a bag of weapons in the taxi. This made the next scene way cheaper. Your skull is made up of 29 different bones. A group of frogs is called an army. Burger King in Japan has released 2 black hamburgers called the Kure Diamond and the Kuro Pearl with everything including the bun, the sauce, and the cheese colored black with squid ink. In Japan, there is a festival celebrating the penis. It is called Kanamara Matsuri. Nauru, an island in the Pacific, is the only country in the world not to have an official capital. There are a total of 15 countries with absolutely no military force including Costa Rica, Liechtenstein, and Samoa. In Michigan, you're never further than 6 miles from a body of water. A goldfish has a memory span of 3 seconds. Jason Statham was on the British national swimming squad for 12 years before becoming a Hollywood actor. Watermelons contain an ingredient called citrulline that can trigger production of a compound that helps relax the body's blood vessels, just like Viagra. It took a whole month for Erno Rubik, the inventor of the Rubik's Cube, to solve his own creation. Airbags inflate at a rate of 200 miles per hour. Crying is actually very healthy for you. It helps emotionally, lubricates your eyes, removes toxins and irritants, and reduces stress. Woodpeckers once pecked holes in the space shuttle. A single human brain generates more electrical impulses in a day than all the telephones of the world combined. In the early bottles, Coca-Cola contained cocaine. In 2001, the chimp actually had to be sent to rehab to be treated for his addictions. Over 50% of the oxygen supply we breathe comes from the Amazon rainforest. The rules of most airlines require that the pilot and co-pilot of a plane eat different meals. This is just in case one of the meals causes food poisoning. Ecrinology is the study of excretion. 1,000 selfies are posted on Instagram, whereas 93 million are created each day. Although many would argue that they look better natural, 36% of all selfies are altered before being posted. It would take over 50 million balloons to lift the average house off the ground, like in the movie Up. Both companies Louis Vuitton and Chanel burn their products at the end of the year, preventing them to being sold at a discount. Potatoes have more chromosomes than a human. In 2011, Barack Obama became the first president to have ever brewed beer in the White House, which is named White House Honey Ale. Zenography is the study of the planet Jupiter. Our neighboring galaxy is Andromeda. It has over 1 trillion stars and is twice the size of the Milky Way. In 2014, a fan was waving a flare at a Polish soccer game when a security guard used pepper spray on him, not knowing that the substances were combustible, causing him to burst into flames. A person uses 17 muscles when they smile, and 43 when they frown. An employee at Pixar accidentally deleted a sequence of Toy Story 2 during production. It would have taken a year to remake what was gone, but luckily another employee had the whole thing backed up on a personal computer. The Hawaiian island Niihau is also known as the Forbidden Island. Elizabeth Sinclair bought it in 1864, and now her descendants, the Robinson family, own it. Napoleon once removed the Mona Lisa from the Louvre so he could hang it on his bedroom wall. The only part of the body that has no blood supply is the cornea of the eye. It receives oxygen directly from the air. A California couple named Helen and Les Brown were both born on December 31, 1918, were married for 75 years, and then died one day apart at the age of 94 in 2013. In 1906, a man named Joe Munch was sentenced to 1 minute in jail. The world's biggest tire graveyard is in Sulaybiya, Kuwait. Every single year, gigantic holes are dug into the desert and filled with old tires. Emilia Clarke, who plays Daenerys in Game of Thrones, voiced Dr. Zoidberg's girlfriend in the final episodes of Futurama. Beaver eyelids are transparent so they can see through them as they swim underwater. There is a Russian published novel called The Last Ring Bearer, which retells The Lord of the Rings from the perspective of Sauron. Banknotes in Australia are waterproof. Notorious serial killer Ed Gein inspired Buffalo Bill from the 1991 film The Silence of the Lambs, Leatherface from 1974's The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Norman Bates from Alfred Hitchcock's 1960 film Psycho.
World Top 20.
Thanks for watching.
For more videos, please like the video, comment below, and subscribe to the channel.
We wish you a fruitful day ahead.
And remember, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end.